All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And of course, we're here for our monthly Q&A video for July. And this one has a lot of questions in it. Yeah. But more specifically, we had to let a bunch of questions go, unfortunately, because they basically just pertained to, have we watched something or are we going to watch something? And we have a MyAnimeList, right, Jacob?
That we do.
Yeah, that Jacob has set up. And the basic gist of it is most of those things on there, you're able to tell not only have we watched it, but which of us has watched it. Most of the things Jacob has watched. Yeah. So if you have a thing on there that's like, have you guys watched this? Go check out our MyAnimeList. It's in the description. It's not something we get really tired of, seeing those questions of, but it's more like, you'd solve a lot of your questions yourself if you just check out our MyAnimeList in the description. So,
and this video would be like twice as long if we answered all those questions.
Yes, there was about, 50 questions related to that we deleted. Crazy. All right, cool. So let's get right into it and go to the very first one here. Yeah. Yuda Best Around says, I'm really glad I found you guys via your My Hero Academia reactions. Hey, thanks. I can't wait to see more later on. I got a couple questions. Where are you guys from? Well, we don't want to be too specific, the internet and all that, but we are from Washington State and not Washington, D.C. For those of you that are outside of the country, there are two places in the U.S. that are called Washington. Yes. What's your favorite childhood memory? Just to be really quick, there was this little beach by the house I grew up at, and I used to climb the cliff that was next to it. That's a really favorite childhood memory of mine. I like climbing things.
Reading Lord of the Rings and then getting to watch it. Cool. We had the thing where we couldn't watch them until we'd read the books.
Yeah. Got any secret hidden talents? I have a lot of voice impersonations that I can do.
Yes. He's also very good at Frisbee.
Yes. That's not a hidden talent, though. If you know me really well...
he's good at Frisbee.
I'm really good at Ultimate Frisbee. Yeah, what about you? He has really intense facial expressions that he only reveals when he's watching anime.
Yes, that's probably it. Yeah. Jonathan Seeger, enjoying your stuff. Keep it up. Haikyuu might be a change of pace, but definitely hype as hell.
I think Haikyuu is on the list. Yeah, that's the gist of that question. Book Lover, hey, how's it going? What are each of you guys' top favorite characters from RWBY? Oh my goodness. Top favorite characters. I'm just going to go, and in no particular order, we're going to throw out Crow, Yang, Ozpin, Crow, Yang, Ozpin, probably my top three. I don't really have...
RWBY?
Yeah, sure. RWBY, and I really appreciate... You guys are going to hate me, but I really appreciate that I hate Cinder, so I'm going to put Cinder as number 5.
Yeah. Not necessarily in order, but Coco, Neo, Pyrrha, RWBY, and...
you want to say Nora.
Yeah.
I know him. Nora's probably closer to his top 2 or something like that. But anyways, top 3 favorite songs from RWBY, favorite weapons and semblances from RWBY. Oh my gosh, so many questions. RWBY's an interesting show. I don't really have 3 favorite songs from RWBY because I really like a lot of them. But if anything, I'll tell you right now, I'm really getting a lot out of Armed and Ready. I don't really have all of them in my top list or anything. What about you?
Well, This Will Be the Day just has to be mentioned because This Will Be the Day. I've listened to that song so many times. I absolutely love Cold. That rips my heart out. And then Boop.
Yeah.
Boop is just amazing.
Favorite weapons and semblances from RWBY?
Coco.
Yeah, I almost have to agree with you about Coco, but just to be different, I'm going to put...
The Wukong?
No. But yeah, I would say Sun's quarterstaff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Semblances, Crow's.
Crow's is very cool.
Yeah.
I would actually say RWBY's. I just love when there's speed involved in something, and it's not super specific of what it does and what its limits are.
Sure. What weapon or semblance would you guys love to see in the Ruby world that hasn't appeared yet? Oh.
Bowtie staff whip sword.
Yeah, he's thought about this. He has what's called an OC. I despise OCs, so I think that, I mean, yeah. For weapons in particular, I want to see a weapon that is actually inspiring a new type of martial form. One of the things I'm kind of bugged at is a lot of the weapons we see either tend to have some kind of heavy cutting damage, some kind of poking, stabbing weapon, and then some kind of ranged weapon, and there's not really much in between. There's like Neon's
roller skates, whatever they are.
No, her nunchucks with dust, like that kind of wacky stuff I really want to see more of.
Okay.
But semblances, I really want to see a semblance actually related to the name of our channel. I want to see a semblance of mind, something that actually goes to understanding things. It's kind of like Siler's power from Heroes.
Sure.
How much anime have both of you watched separately or together? Don't give an exact number, just a guess would do. Well, he's watched 4 times as much as I have. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Will you guys be doing one-time reactions for one-time shows that don't comprise of a series of shows? Probably, but not that much.
Yeah, it'd have to be really stand out in order for us to react to it. Because if we hear about it, then we might accidentally just watch it.
You want us to watch Madness Combat. I highly recommend this one. It has Jesus in it being a badass. Okay, that sounds fun, but it's not anywhere high on a priority list. Yeah. All right. That was Etrius Wimbledon who gave that question. Thank you for that one.
Anthony Enzor wants to react to Plastic Memories. I've heard of that. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's very similar to Angel.
It'll go on the list. Generally, what we're going to answer for a lot of these is say they'd love to see a reaction from them. We're going to say, hey, it's going to get put on the list. Right. We have a super list that's constantly growing. Yeah. Have you guys heard of Bungo Stray Dogs? Yes, I have. And he kind of describes it. This is from Savannah. And plus, I can't wait to buy your book, Jacob. Oh, cool. Thanks.
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
Jerry Smith. You want to take this one?
Yes. So what's so appealing about Ruby? Okay, so someone that doesn't actually really like it all that much. There's the whole idea that it started out really small and you get to watch it grow over time. There's the soundtrack, which is stellar by any standards. The fact that it incorporates really good choreography into the action, that's something that a lot of action shows don't really do. Mm-hmm. And just that it's a very imaginative and fun world. It really harps on the rule of cool, which is something that even in anime you don't see a lot.
Right. One of the things that I appreciate about it is that they took a lot of proven concepts and expounded upon them and then incorporated that into a fantasy world where they led us along for 3 seasons thinking it was going to be kind of a campy almost slice of life action kind of thing in a school setting, and then they completely turned it on its head and turned it into a classic fantasy adventure show. That twist really carries a lot of the show, in particular. But really, like Jacob said, Jacob and I immediately saw the potential for where the show is going to go based on the imaginative vision of the combination of the fighting choreography plus the music in a fantasy universe. And to be fair, there aren't many good fantasy shows out there.
There really aren't.
And you can probably count the good ones on one hand.
Yeah. Camp. So, it's Rooster Teeth.
It's Camp's on our list. It's not high on the list, really.
Berserk
1997. That is on the list.
And it's very high on the list.
Yes. Jacob has seen that. I have not.
Right.
Your stuff's A1 quality and all your visuals are enjoyable to watch. Thanks, Hyun Woo. If I had one question or criticism to give regarding the channel's formula and its growth, how about considering viewer interaction for one of your series you're watching to be voted to be watched or upload 2 days a week? Hey, thanks for that feedback. One of the ones that we've got a ton of recommendation to do for is My Hero Academia. One of the
big
things,
surprise.
Yeah, no big surprise at all. One of the things that we are saving double uploads a week for is shows that are long enough that it's warranted and we really want to keep a kind of a pace with it.
Yeah.
But My Hero Academia is a show that's coming out live. We will catch up to it eventually.
Right, before the third season starts coming out. So,
easily. So even though it's going to take a while, we really enjoy watching shows like My Hero Academia or even shows like Psychopaths because there's so much meat to delve into, and it really fuels our discussion.
And we don't want it to end. Like, we want to keep watching it for as long as possible.
Yeah, in a way, we're doing this for our sake, so you get to suffer with us. But, yeah, good question. Savannah asked another question again.
Do you think Deco and Bakugo could ever be friends again?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll take a while.
Yeah.
But
Taz2269 has asked, have you guys ever thought about doing manga content like reviews, reactions, discussions? Thought about it, but it's not something that we would... Like, there's a lot of things we want to do that are not reaction related, and manga content stuff is not really high up on the list.
Yeah.
All right, let's go up to the next page here. Hibernate asks...
Monogatari series. So...
Not really.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about that one, but there's a lot of content to it, and it's very dialogue heavy, so it might not be the best for reaction.
Bigfoot G, who's your favorite Game of Thrones character? Well...
That's tough.
That's tough, but you know what? I am going to do this because I wanted to make it clear. I have always appreciated this character every time they're on screen, even though they don't get as much screen time because of what they represent. No, you're going to be wrong. It's Varys.
I was going to guess Varys.
Oh, really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Varys has so many great conversations throughout the show, and even in the books as well. He's one of those characters that you can never fully get inside the head of, but he's not a Peter Baelish where he's just
despicable,
kind of
right?
Despicable, yeah. What about you?
Well, this kind of feels like a cop-out to say, but Arya.
Yeah, I knew that, yeah. Because she's awesome.
Yeah, she's just awesome.
All right. Amok Sillings asks, once you finish Ruby Volume 4 soundtrack, which song do you think really hit home for you? Oh, ha. Little pun in the title there.
Yeah.
I don't think that was intentional, but I know that one hit home for you.
Yes,
right?
although my favorite has to be This Life Is Mine. It's so good.
Yeah, but in terms of what actually hit home for me, I was kind of surprised that it wasn't Home that hit home for me. It wasn't Let's Just Live. It wasn't This Life Is Mine. Those are all, I'd say, better songs to some extent than this one, but Armed and Ready really hit home for me. That was a fantastic song.
Daw has this question. Do you have any plans for non-reaction content in the future?
Yes. Stay
absolutely.
tuned for that once we get our Discord and Patreon all set up.
Atlas. Have you guys watched Gakko Gurashi School Live? No, we haven't.
Okay. Feline Sign 28665. Have you seen Once Upon a Time? Yeah, part of it.
We dropped that around season 3 or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Wakar Chowdhury, which moment in any anime has made you cry the most or maybe even depressed?
Ooh.
Well, see, can we really answer these without spoiling? Because I think you've seen things that I haven't.
That's true, but I would say I can answer this because Wolf Children. I cried like a baby when I first watched that.
That's a really good one, Wolf Children. The thing is that I like watching things that make me cry, but I don't like watching things that make me depressed.
Yeah.
So you've watched, the Ghibli film.
Oh, yes.
The most depressing one of all time.
See, I've kind of blocked The Grave of Fireflies from my memory.
Yeah, if you want to watch something depressing, watch that.
You will want to watch it once and no more, because it's an amazing film, but you...
Yeah, I'd say in terms of anime that's made me cry the most, I don't really know. I think to an extent, actually, it's not an anime, but Avatar.
Oh, well, yeah.
There are so many moments in there that made me cry. Also, what's the darkest thing you've ever seen? So, outside of anime, or...
I think they mean it within anime.
Yeah, they could be talking about real life, and I'd be like, oh, boy. Let's just say, great question, but I don't really have I don't really retain memories of those kinds of things.
Yeah. My favorite show for going into dark stuff without making it just be dark for the sake of being dark.
Edgy.
Yeah, I would say it would be Black Lagoon because they directly tied in the themes of morality and stuff, and that definitely had a dark thing in there. But that's not something we really get interested in.
Yeah, not really. The story ends up being kind of shallow sometimes. Zoem. Are you guys interested in reacting to a really good live-action murder series, Harper Island? 13 episodes. Maybe.
Possibly.
We'll see.
Go on the list.
Yeah, it can go on the list. Okay.
Romance Anime by Anthony Enzor.
Well, if you've seen our top 10 video, which will be in the description of top 10 anime we've seen, Toradora!
Yeah, that is just amazing.
We love it.
Yeah.
And it's one of our favorites. Yeah. And there are a lot of other romance anime out there that we have seen or haven't seen. Right. More so you than me.
Yes.
But yeah, I like them. I like them. That's my opinion.
But you have to make sure that the show isn't doing romance just for the sake of being romance. A lot of times with things like romance and fantasy, it's an excuse to be a little bit sloppy with the writing.
Yep. It's pretty bad sometimes. And
but the good ones are.
In fact, that's something that, to an extent, even though the shipping community is really strong in RWBY, I really appreciate that they've really not gone that far into the romance side of things in RWBY. I know, controversial opinion, but I think that it is really hard to write good romance and stuff. All right. This is Delia Fisher recommending us to watch Rainbow Nisha Rokubu no Shichin In. Okay, we'll check it out, put it on the list. Is there an anime you rate as the best you've ever seen? If so, I would like to know.
Well, Avatar The Last Airbender.
And it's not an anime in terms of some people's definition, but we don't care.
It's
Avatar The Last Airbender is something you should be watching before you watch anime, because we think it's one of the best shows out there.
Yeah.
Check out All Out as a rugby anime by Danielle.
Yeah.
Okay. CWQ.
Zenkyo no Terror.
Zenkyo no Terror. Okay.
I've heard of that. I don't really know what it's about.
Yeah, so we'll check it out.
Yeah.
You want to
but Yoko Kanno does amazing composing. Sean Tracy. Voltron. So we haven't seen the older Voltron stuff, but we have seen the Netflix one, and we love it.
Love it.
It's
I've
awesome.
heard that there is a third season coming out next month.
Sweet. Wait, next month?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah.
No Aggressor. If a RWBY fighting game comes out, would we consider playing it on the channel?
We would consider it, but we probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, probably
so
not.
Jacob and I are ex-video gamers to some extent.
Yes.
I am more so continuing to play some video games here and there, but this is not probably going to turn into a Let's Play channel.
Sala Ed Bocina, what do you guys do for a living?
Well, we have a little combination of things.
Yeah.
I have an online business. Jacob does.
I actually quit my jobs a bit ago after saving up a bunch of money to work on the book, so that's what I'm hoping to turn into.
So you're all in on that. So
yes.
Effectively, you're writing right now.
Yeah. So feel free to help support me on that.
Scrub Lord, will you watch Attack on Titan Junior High
and the Levi OVA?
Yes, on the Levi OVA eventually.
Possibly on the Junior High.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah.
Delia Fisher, have the two of you heard of a superhero anime called Tiger and Bunny?
I've heard of that.
I have heard of it.
What it's about, but
I think it's on the list, but it's pretty low.
Yeah. Etrius Wimbledon. Are you guys accepting reaction suggestions, or do you have to be a Patreon supporter to request a video reaction?
So here's the thing. You can request all you want.
Right.
One of the things that we're going to be doing, and this is something that's a great question to bring up. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Is if you put up a request, we're going to put it onto a list. And then when we have a slot open up, we're going to take the shows that we have at the highest point on that list currently, bring them all up in front of you guys that are Patreon supporters at a $1 level or higher, so any Patreon supporters, and say, hey, which of these do you want to watch? And there'll be a massive poll, and you'll get to vote on which one do you find to be, the ones you want to watch. And then we'll probably take the top 3 in particular and choose one of them.
Yeah.
If it's a very definitive, this one in particular, we'll watch that, then we'll do that. But one of the things we're sure is that, we're probably not going to have many Patreon supporters in the beginning, so there could be 3 votes for this one and 4 votes for this one, and we'll choose from that.
And we also need to reserve the right to not watch Boku no Pico if for some reason it gets voted to the top.
Yeah, no troll shows, thank you. Ryan H. Have you guys watched any sports anime? Me, no.
The closest thing I could say is Your Line April, but that's not a sports anime.
Yeah, I would like to watch that, but okay.
Gamer Elitish. Any live action shows other than Game of Thrones you've considered watching?
Yes. A lot.
Yeah.
But,
yes. As for which ones?
A few.
A few, yeah.
Yeah. Great question. Mikey, what's the name of the anime on your monthly Q&A video? Caleb said he didn't like it at first, but someone spoiled it. Oh!
Gurren Lagann.
Tenga Toppan Gurren Lagann. Yeah, someone spoiled that one for me before I watched it, and it was unforgivable.
Yeah.
I still ended up liking it at the end, but it did ruin it a bit.
Yeah.
Also, which state do you two live in? Yeah,
Washington. Yeah.
Fawn vegan or fawn vegan?
Yeah.
So
is there a chance that
people who are not your Patreon supporters to get partial access to your Discord chat? So
Gotcha.
That was a decision that we kind of went back and forth on. Just very let's think about it. And we came to the conclusion, no, we're not going to do that. So what we will do is, make it as accessible as possible, so that there's never going to be a point where, it's going to be anything more than $1 a month to be a Patreon supporter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we watched Fairy Tail? That one? No. That one's a bit long.
Yeah. We will probably just say right off the bat, we are probably not going to react to One Piece, Naruto, Fairy Tail, Bleach we've already seen, and you've seen most of Naruto, so we don't have time for that. Okay. Any other hobbies apart from anime TV shows? I like to hike. I'm a very outdoorsy guy. I do ultimate frisbee. I do all kinds of different running activities, swimming, at least if the weather's nice. In terms of other hobbies and stuff like that, I do like to play strategy games of some kinds. There's a couple others. Reading. I like hanging out with friends. I like, I just like going out and doing stuff. But I don't really have hobbies in the standpoint of that little thing that you do on the side that's just for fun. That I would say that's basically just ultimate frisbee for me. What about you?
For me, for the longest time, that was writing, and then I was like, you know what, let's just double down on that. The other hobby I would say that I have is I very much enjoy tabletop RPGs.
That's true.
That's
quite good at that.
It's still sort of connected to that whole story itch that it scratches.
And it helps develop it in some way as well.
Yes, I've gotten a lot of ideas from thinking about those.
All right, so Yugo XGC, what are your favorite genres of shows, books? Ooh, well, I'm going to be simple and boring, and I'm going to say fantasy.
Yeah.
I really do like sci-fi, but I feel like sci-fi kind of limits the creator into feeling like they have to develop too much into their world so that it makes sense.
One of probably my favorite genre is specifically I love fantasy, of course. Fantasy, it goes without saying. But sci-fi fantasy. Because I love Star Wars, and I love it whenever they take the sci-fi and they add those fantasy elements to make it seem more mythic and things, as opposed to something where the sci-fi can make the world seem very, cold and just...
Yeah, and the characters aren't really even a focus of the story in those sci-fis. What are your favorite genres or subgenres more specific to anime? Well, Jacob is very versed in the anime genres and subgenres. I know a little bit about them, but I would say that if anything, I tend to enjoy, not really a genre, I tend to enjoy shows with large casts of characters that handle them well. That can go to a whole lot of genres, I know, but that's really all I...
My favorites are, I want to say slice of life, but the thing is, I don't like slice of life unless it's a really good slice of life. Because
what's a good slice of life to you?
Sweetness and Lightning. Toradora is a romance, but Sweetness and Lightning is, I would say, a fantastic example of a slice of life where really not much happens, but I absolutely love it.
Okay.
Is only Jacob writing a book, or both of you?
Well, so here's the thing. Jacob is writing a book with intention. I have a couple stories that I've written that are in that kind of rough draft format, but it's not something I'm focusing on right now because I'm doing a lot more focus on Ultimate Frisbee right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to go pro with it. That would be pretty cool.
What kind of genre is it? It is a sci-fi with the fantasy sort of undertones and, you know, styles to it. Yeah, it's not to my own horn, but it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. And mine's just a pure fantasy. Favorite mythical beast creature?
Phoenix.
Well, I knew yours was going to be a phoenix. Yeah. Mine, if anything, it always tends to be some kind of thing associated with birds. I do love the phoenix thing as well, but I don't know if there's any cross between owls and eagles, but that would be my thing if that existed. Favorite Pokemon? You're gonna hate me, but we're not big Pokemon fans.
Yeah, we just didn't really get into it.
Yeah. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Just yes.
I'm gonna be that person, or maybe something different, completely different. Favorite band?
Direwolf. Yeah, for something completely different.
Oh, and not a liger. I thought that was your thing.
But direwolves are like, they're ligers, but they're better because they're dogs. You know.
Okay, cool. Mine would actually be some kind of mountain lion. I've always found the idea of a cat that can climb to that extent, that roams around as like a predator, is like, whoa, that's powerful. A favorite band, genre of music, and what are your thoughts on fan service and anime? Well, those are two very separate questions. But favorite band, genre of music,
Ruby soundtrack.
Yeah, I it's funny because I don't really have any dislikes in music except country music. And if you're from outside of the country and you don't know what country music is, you're better off not knowing. It's okay. It's just dumb. Sorry, I mean, I like most music, so that's just, yeah. What are your thoughts on fan service and anime? Well, are you talking that one show that is the ultimate just fan service show that came out recently with the girls on the, they're trying to knock each other off the...
Oh, Keijo? See, yeah. Okay.
Are you talking like Keijo level fan service where it's so ridiculous they're actually trying to make it interesting? Or are you saying like fan service like Code Geass where
they take a break from everything and...
No, I'm not talking that. I'm talking like where the girls always pan up from their crotch or their or whatever, or from their butts or something, and they just pan up and stuff. Like that kind of stuff bugs me. But the thing is that if the show's story is good enough, it's a little bit easier to ignore it. But
yeah. Usually the problem is that it detracts from the story. Like in the case of Code Geass, I didn't so much mind the camera angles as I did mind the parts where they would have like the side episodes that were super fan service heavy, and it didn't really make sense for those episodes to be there, or things like that. But when you have things like Keijo, I don't mind it as much just because they're so on the nose about it.
Yeah. So it's something that I would say we are aware of, but it's not something that completely ruins our experience depending on how the story is handled.
But it can.
Yeah. Sorry, we haven't been doing the names. Oh, wait, no, that was all the same person.
Yeah, you go.
The Trophy Munchers.
Favorite films in general.
Favorite films in general, wow.
Wolf Children?
Yeah, but I like to throw in some live action ones in there. I really like Christopher Nolan films.
Ooh, yeah.
Prestige is fantastic. Fantastic film. I'd say in terms of a film out there that's just something that's really just done wonders for me, it's films like that have an emotional thriller aspect to it. So I love that kind of stuff.
Okay, 3 live action films for me. Serenity, the continuation of Firefly. It's fantastic. I love it.
It is pretty good.
V for Vendetta.
That is a fantastic
film. We have had conversations. We regularly have conversations after watching that movie that are longer than the actual movie itself.
Yep.
And they're amazing. 3, Pride and Prejudice. That new one that came out, well, not new, it came out in like 2005 or whatever.
Keira Knightley.
But yeah, I absolutely love that movie. I think it's classy and amazing.
Yeah. Favorite animated films? Well, we already know what his is.
Wolf Children. But Tangled as well. Tangled was amazing.
You're gonna laugh, but we're huge Disney fans.
Oh yeah.
I really think that in terms of animated films, there's a lot of them out there that kind of don't get as much kind of respect as they should, and to an extent I really do like a lot of animated films, But the one that really kind of sticks out to me, no matter what, I really love Nausicaa Valley of the Wind.
That's a good one.
Ghibli. And it's one of those Ghibli films that's, I'd say, on the slightly more popular side. It's not like one no one's heard of.
So it's so old. Like it was one of the first.
But I really like a lot of Ghibli films. I like a lot of Disney films. I like a lot of older animation stuff. I tend to kind of cringe at comedy animated films.
Sure.
The ones that are, the Shrek sequels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just has to have some kind of emotional hook to the story, and I'm in.
Speaking of emotional hooks, here are 3 awesome animated films that I love that Caleb has not seen: Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, Your Name, and A Silent Voice. All amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this person. Okay, so we got a lot of questions from this person, and we're putting them in because we think it would be funny. But I'll answer them fine. So this person, S. McKee, asks, are shirtless pictures of super hot Caleb publicly available? And if so, where? Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, runway modeling, where? No. No, they're not publicly available. I am flattered, but no.
Kyle Hyun, 94. Do you love me? That sort of runs...
Right? Sure. It's easy to love you when, I just say it, right? Infinite Ginger.
How long have you two been friends, enemies? Since birth.
Yeah, we've been at each other's throats for years, man. This is like a legendary battle that won't end.
A fated battle between men.
Oh, God. All right, Anthony Enzor asks, if you guys get the time to do it, would you guys consider streaming on Rift? Rift or Riff? Because I know what Riff is. I don't think you're talking about Rift. So Riff is basically you're allowing people to watch your entire reactions, in just terms of reactions, but they have to provide their own source for the video, and we put in some kind of a synchronization timer thing. And the app basically does the whole thing for you. It's like, that's something we've thought about. We got invited to be partners with them, and I'm like, oh, cool, Jacob, we got a partner invite. Woohoo. Not really high on our priority list. Again, we don't want to be the kind of people that put things up on Google Drive or...
Right, we don't want to do workarounds.
Yes, we are not a workaround people. We're trying to do this as legitimately as possible. That's why we don't have ads on any of our videos.
Yowie Boy says, who responds to the comments?
Well,
we both do.
Yeah. But the person who responds from Semblance of Sanity is almost always me.
Yes.
What do you guys do for study work when you're not doing YouTube? Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of things that we do for study or work, but are you talking about work meaning specifically for pay?
Right.
We've got very interesting lives set up where I do most of my pay work through an online business, and Jacob is currently unemployed, working on his book full time, like full time. So he's tack at the computer all day. But doing for study, there's a lot of things I do for study. In fact, I think this is something to bring up in that I am very much into connection, communication, and human psychology, and learning how to better communicate with people and better foster and develop community. And that's something actually I want to incorporate into the channel, and specifically the Discord, as we move forward as a channel. Okay.
Anthony Enzor, again.
A very, very big question here. Basically asking if we can react to Seven Deadly Sins
and
or
Blue
Exorcist. So Seven Deadly Sins I actually have heard good things about, and Blue Exorcist I've heard not good things about.
Right, I've heard mixed things about it, where people will be like, oh, it's bad, oh, it's good,
So Blue Exorcist is not on the list. Seven Deadly Sins is on the list. If Blue Exorcist would be put on the list, it would be very low.
High. Yeah.
12 Pen Paper. Hey guys, I just subscribed to your channel. I very much enjoyed your session. Would really like to see you do a series of Spice and Wolf. Oh, that's so great. And it's like barely anyone has done a proper reaction to it. I'm very interested in what you have to say about it.
Really true.
Okay, so Jacob put it in his top 5 of our total top 10 video. Again, in the description. Yeah. Check it out.
He hasn't seen it.
I have not seen it. I know the premise. Merchant traveling around meets wolf girl and stuff. I think that sounds interesting, but the way Jacob describes it is that it's classy.
Yes, it is. It's probably one of the very few anime that I can actually describe as classy.
And it's specifically classy in the dub.
Yes, it's specifically classy in the dub. It has amazing dialogue, and it's sort of the pacing of it makes you really feel like you're going on a trip through the countryside.
Cool. Yoshino Amane, I'm so happy that you watch anime. Your videos help something good. I'm supporting you from Japan. Hey, that's not a question, Jacob. How'd you let that get in here?
Hey, you let it get through too. All right.
A smart otaku V2.
I knew you were.
Please react to the teaser trailer of Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle ASAP. Yeah, we just watched it. We don't really care. Well, at least we don't really care to react to that kind of stuff. It's cool. I know. Yeah. It's awesome.
Okay, this
specifically the Ruby part is what you're excited about. So this one, okay, you've got a lot of questions.
Isotropy anime.
Thank you for all the questions.
Yes,
we appreciate it.
Fantastic.
So this is where it's going to get a little bit slow here. Would you rather have a quirk to have full control over water, including the water inside of humans and animals, or a quirk to have full control over all existing animals except for humans? Water.
Yeah, because water
bending.
Exactly. You don't have to control like animals or people with it. You could just be like, I'm gonna go to the ocean.
Yeah. Why would I want control over all animals? Like,
I mean, that could be kind of cool, but water is much better.
Yeah.
What are your opinion about the whole fidget spinner thing?
I don't have one. I don't really know so much about how it's a thing. Actually, we're pretty intentionally secluded from like certain areas of the internet by just choice because we don't want to waste our time there. So that's a part of it.
Have you guys ever played any Mario games in the past?
Of course.
Smash Bros for the win.
Yeah, but you're talking specifically Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yes.
And that one Jacob and I got really good at.
Yeah.
And I played in a couple tournaments. Also, I played a lot of Mario Kart Double Dash.
That's a fun one too.
And a little bit of Mario Party. Like the older ones, like 3 or 4.
Would you rather receive an instant $2,500 or a 50% chance to win $50,000? I think maybe they meant $25,000 or 50% chance to win $50,000.
Yeah, so that actually makes more sense because I would always pick the 50% chance to win $50,000. Some people say this, but I have a gift of foresight. Like, literally, someone's going to ask me what my quirk would be. It's literally to see the future.
That's a bit OP.
I swear that human beings, to some extent,
can't
have
see the
limited
future.
foresight abilities, and we just need to tap into it in some way.
Yeah.
Okay, but in this instance, if it's $25,000 or a 50% chance to win $50,000, would you still take the 50-50?
No, I'd do the $25,000 because
yeah, same here. I would take the sure thing because why leave things up to chance?
Exactly.
For regarding Boku no Hero Academia, what do you think the girl with the green hair finished fourth in the obstacle course has
as a quirk? Okay.
Well, we
don't kind know.
We kind of have an idea.
Right.
Because her quirk seems to have some kind of
extension of her hair, sort of Rapunzel almost thing. Or
right,
whatever.
So I'm guessing sort of the anime tentacle power structure.
Yeah.
And she'll be able to stretch it and it's really strong or some kind.
Sure.
If a character has to die, who do you want to be in Boku no Hero Academia?
Okay. So...
Well,
All Might's the obvious one.
Yes.
But let's not talk about All Might because that's too obvious. Other than All Might, who would you want to see die?
Well, so here's the thing that Ruby did that was really interesting. They killed off a student that we loved.
Yeah.
And one of the things that would be really tough to do in a shonen where they want to make, tons of episodes of this show is killing off characters. So if they do this, if they kill off any students, which I am actually at this point now thinking they're never going to do, I would want it to be someone we actually care about, like Ida.
Yeah, I was just going to say Ida. Now, the show would be dark and dismal afterwards because we wouldn't have any more hand gestures and any of his awesome speeches.
That would hurt.
But it would hurt so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is your honest opinion about Fairy Tail?
Too long.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Overrated. You said honest. I have seen a couple people show me some stuff about why it's good. And I think the main thing actually Fairy Tail has going for it is a large cast of characters that all seem semi-interesting, but overrated.
Will One Punch Man ever have to punch his enemy more than once when it gets its sequel series, Two Punch Man?
Yeah. Since you both have seen ReZero, a REM suffering.
What did you like and dislike about the anime? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I don't really like ReZero. I think it's okay. The thing I like about it primarily is the main character. I didn't like the structure of the story at all. When it was at its best was when he wakes up in the mansion and Rem there's the whole part of the show going on there. I'm trying to be not spoilery about the show.
But when he wakes up in the mansion the second time and he doesn't know what happened.
Yes, that part. Yeah.
So I really liked it because they basically took the idea of the time loop, which is something that's been done before, to great effect in shows that we very much love. Like, there's like 3 of them in our top 10 list. Mm-hmm. So, and they basically harped on it out to wazoo. I love that they made the main character really care, even if it was a bit heavy-handed as to why he would care. The 3 main characters, I would say, were very good. I like that they had an episode that was almost entirely dialogue, but in my mind, the show ends at episode 18, I believe it is. You know the episode.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather want to pull off 3 fingernails one by one, or swim through a lake filled with blood and dead bodies for 10 minutes?
Lake with blood and dead bodies.
We have
very strong minds.
No, see, here's the thing. I don't have the strongest mental constitution, but I would still do that because I just yesterday was playing Frisbee, really intense game, and a piece of a Frisbee lodged itself underneath my fingernail, and that pain was so intense. If I had to rip off 3 fingernails? No.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's disgusting. Is there a typical word you say a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. My Hero Academia. If Midoriya had a quirk since he was little,
what would it be?
Well, it would be he would be able to pull burning things to him, small burning things to him very slowly.
No. But he would have to because it was fire breathing.
Yeah, that'd be great. Konosuba, who of these 3
is your favorite? Aqua, Megumin, or Darkness?
Oh,
Darkness,
Megumin.
Yeah.
No one likes Aqua.
No one likes Aqua.
Dog or cat? Yes. Are you vegan?
No.
We are both pretty healthy people, and we have some things we could say about vegans, but we actually
humans
respect,
need protein.
But no, that's important too. But we actually kind of respect, to an extent, at least I do, that I respect people that are changing their lifestyle in order to make themselves more healthy.
Yes.
Because most people don't do that. They're like, oh, I can't get healthy. It's like,
right.
Yeah, sorry.
You can. You just don't want to.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, the idea of changing things in your life that is difficult for health, but also anytime you have something that you believe is a cause worth fighting for, because I feel like most of the time vegans do it because they don't like the treatment of animals.
Yep.
So the fact they're willing to do something very difficult that really changes their life a lot for that is admirable, at the very least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you believe in life after death in some way? Yeah,
yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Final question. Are you guys secretly wizards?
Well,
we haven't gotten our letters from Hogwarts yet.
Well, here's the thing. This question is a catch-22, because if we say no, then we could be lying. If we say yes, then we're no longer secretly wizards.
Ooh. Ayune Souza, what anime show do you wish you had recorded your reactions of?
Oh,
this is easy.
This is
Avatar:
easy.
Last Airbender.
Oh my gosh. Also, to an extent, this is something we're not going to, at least I'm not going to. I am a very big fan of other reaction channels. I'm just going to say this. I am really sometimes a little bit, not suspicious, but a little bit curious about how no one has seen shows like, basically really popular shows out there that are really good, and
that people just haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so they're going to do reactions of it. Jacob and I, we will not do reactions of shows we've already seen. That's just not cool.
Right.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I would have loved to have a reaction to that. It's one of my favorite shows.
Or freaking Code Geass.
Or Steins Gate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But no.
We have considered, though, doing a series of just going back through Avatar: The Last Airbender and just enjoying it again and talking about it.
Well, not only that, but kind of pulling out and analyzing exactly why it's so good.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have little things where they're like, hey, this is something that's great in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like, well, have you seen, stuff about how much foreshadowing they did for Zuko's arc? All kinds of things out there.
It's just amazing.
Otaku Brothers. Hey, that sounds like us, huh? Hey, guys, can you sometimes react to other anime-related stuff like the Anime in Minutes and the Anime in Credits? cracks. Well, you know what's funny?
So
we just watch those.
Yeah, we just watch them.
We love those.
We love them.
Yeah. I mean, we have to be careful sometimes because some of them are really ridiculous. But
But they're
probably not going to react to those.
My personal favorite is the Gigax ReZero in 8 minutes. That video is amazing. I
liked that video more than the anime.
Well, yeah, because it's perfect.
Adam, you should add one more show for Tuesdays,
maybe Tokyo Ghoul.
Well, okay,
so
not necessarily Tokyo Ghoul, but we will tell you we have a goal set up on our Patreon for when we will put a show into the Tuesday slot. Right now, Tuesday is actually kind of our day where we do reactions.
Right.
And we're going to be doing reactions after this video.
How do you go about recording? Do you have one sitting with multiple shows, or do you spread them out?
Yes. Not really, specifically, one sitting with multiple shows or spreading them out. It's
a mix and match.
It's a mix and match. We watch them whenever we have the time, really.
Yeah. Favorite colors, and what are your favorite characters in fiction?
Ooh, so favorite color for me is probably purple and then red. What about you?
My favorite color would probably be some kind of gray. That probably has to do with the fact that silver specifically, because I really
like that tungsten silver gray.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of stuff.
Because I really like armor. Yeah. Favorite characters in fiction. Does that exclude my own? Iroh. That's cheating.
No, it's just true. Uncle freaking Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay,
favorite character in fiction.
He's amazing.
You can say Kamina.
Kamina is amazing. Hana from Wolf Children. I want to be like her when I grow up. She is the most badass character I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's fantastic. All right, Gamer Elitish. And we'll come back again. Who do you think has been the most tactically resourceful player in the Game of Thrones so far? And do you see a reunion between Varys and Baelish? It's funny how you bring up those two because I think those two are the most tactically
resourceful, even though they don't really do stuff with actual battles.
No, that's the point. They're resourceful. They're not actually using their own resources.
Yes,
I would say it's literally a tie between Varys and Baelish.
What about Olenna?
No. Olenna made so many mistakes, and she
that's true. Yeah.
She also doesn't throw resources around. She throws shade and sass around.
No. I know who's the most tactically resourceful player. The Night's King. He recycles.
Wow.
Jacob. Itachi, how did you come up with your channel name?
Ooh, so this is a cool story.
So we started out with Ruby, so we wanted to have something related to that. I am a huge fan of Haruhi, so I sort of was really wanting to hope that we could come up with something that has the initials SOS. So I was like, Semblance, that's Ruby, of Sanity. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to add extra depth to it. Semblance is the names of the powers in Ruby. Semblance of Sanity is an anagram for SOS, basically saying send help.
Right.
But one of the things that we like to make fun of in fandoms is basically everyone in fandoms are insane. We're crazy guys. We are absolutely crazy.
Fandom means fanatic.
Yeah, exactly. So we get way too invested in shows, and basically the YouTube channel is a pun in that it's saying we are barely holding on to our sanity because that's how much excitement we get from these shows. Yeah. Also, it's saying send help. We're losing our minds.
It just works.
It works on so many levels. Yeah.
What kind of fights do we like most in anime? The emotion-filled ones, strategic, tactics-based ones, or the over-top epic ones, or a combination?
Well, how about we just go over a couple fights that we really like?
I like that.
If for me in particular, I really like the fight between Zuko and Azula at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender. That is an emotional-filled fight.
It really is. It's amazing.
But what about you?
Well said. So there was a point where I didn't really like it when people got into fights because I was coming off of Bleach, and I felt like people rely on fights too much and they don't go into the story as well.
Yeah.
But there is one fight that no matter when I watch it, I get hyped as all hell. That is the ending fight from Sword of the Stranger.
Yeah.
That fight is so gorgeous and so beautiful, and there's so many things all tying
really
into
bloody.
Yes, really bloody, but there's.
He's talking about the ending sword fight, not the whole battle.
The final battle between No Name and I forget what the guy's name is, the blonde dude. But, like, the way they do, like, the choreography for everything, it really seems like they are master swordsmen just duking it out like crazy.
It's a combination of the tactics thing that this person's saying, but also being over the top and epic.
Yes.
The music in that is a crescendo of the climax of this movie being brought to its finale.
Yeah, and
I would say in terms of strategy tactics ones, I really appreciate battles where massive armies are drawn up on each side. And at the final battle between Schneisel and Lelouch in Code Geass, there's this moment. It's not really continues on through the fight, because there's a lot of just super mechs and stuff duking it out with each other. But the part where they're all drawn up their lines and stuff, and they're advancing flanks, and they're basically testing each other's defenses, and then Schneisel pulls a maneuver that breaks Lelouch's formation, ends up having him retreat. Lelouch intentionally brings them over a volcano. Spoiler alert. The volcano does awesome things, and it's like a pure just 3-minute strategy. Just it's awesome.
And Code Geass really has a lot of those.
It does have a lot of them, but they're more not really based on the battles. They're more based on the maneuvering and the machinations of Lelouch and the other characters. Great question.
Yeah.
Mikey, do you guys watch The Walking Dead? Never seen you address it. Guessing you don't like it. That is the skinny of it. Yeah. We don't like The Walking Dead.
Who do you think is the next good character death on Ruby?
Oh, okay. So I'm one of those people that I don't want to say this, but Team Juniper, they're all based on characters that die horribly. And there are a lot of death flags for Ren brought up this volume.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried because now they've got the Renora ship sailing, and if they hurt any of those two characters, I will be depressed, but I will also be like, wow, you guys actually did it. Yeah. So I'm really scared for Ren and Nora, but in terms of, like, a good character death, I'm really excited to see. I want to see Adam pummeled into the ground. Yeah. I want to see his manhood crushed by Crochamores. Like, I am really excited for that.
So here's something that I would like to see. Now, I want to see one of the characters that has already been established as a beast, like Yang, Coco, whatever. Now, I absolutely love those characters, and I do not want to see them die, but
you want to see them lose.
I could see them. Well, I kind of do want to see them die in some epic last stand where they're taking on hordes of baddies.
That's not the next death.
And
that's not the next death. You're talking about a death eventually in the future.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, well, thank you. The great questions.
What time zone are you guys in? We are on the west coast of America, so...
Oh, and this one Jacob's going to like. Jace the Critter asks, are you guys familiar with Dungeons and Dragons? If so, could you talk about it? If not, what do you think about it? Yeah, well... So... yes, we are very familiar.
Yes, very familiar. So we got started on tabletop RPGs with the Star Wars ones. I have played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Now... So, I absolutely love tabletop RPGs. When I started with Dungeons and Dragons, though, I started with stuff very much like that with Star Wars and actual Dungeons and Dragons. But I ended up...
Pathfinder.
Yeah, I did Pathfinder. I didn't really like that. I ended up realizing that a lot of these systems are really complicated, and which I don't mind. I can do that, but it ends up being a focus on the rules and specifically with regards to combat, and it takes away from the whole imagination aspect of the storytelling, which I really, really like.
And I like creating those stories. Yeah. So ones that focus too much on dungeon crawling aspects bore me to death.
So the 3 best systems I've seen are Burning Wheel, if you want something really complicated, but it's very visceral and character driven. The Fantasy Flight Star Wars ones, like Edge of the Empire and all that, those have a really cool system where they do away completely with the D20, like traditional dice, and they have some really cool stuff for narrative, like input from the players and stuff. And then this one that I just found, that the Firefly tabletop RPG, it's so simple, like I really thought it would be dumb, but
you're really loving it.
But it actually is pretty freaking cool.
Corn Chip Universe, great name. Do you guys curse IRL? Well, yes and no. Not usually. Yeah. We're kind of people that go for the route of we would rather be eloquent.
Yeah.
And if it's necessary, then maybe we will. But we're gonna probably try and keep it off YouTube. Just we've heard things that that kind of stuff sometimes keeps your channel from getting a lot of views. Brendan Spaven. Hey guys, really enjoy your reactions. One of you guys ever considered doing video game Let's Plays?
Probably not.
I will say this. I used to stream Hearthstone, a while ago. I still love Hearthstone. I still do. And one of the things that I would be sort of okay with is, playing Hearthstone with friends on Discord or teaching you guys how to play Hearthstone. I would actually enjoy that, but I wouldn't want to do just Let's Plays for the sake of Let's Plays.
Do you know what would be another one that would be really fun, though?
What?
Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah, but that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Jonathan Keller, streaming on Riff. Yes, we've thought about it,
but
we're not really sure about doing it.
We don't really want to do workarounds.
Okay, so this is from S. McKee again. God, your questions are hilarious. Oh my goodness. And I love your compatriot in this Momo. So S. McKee asks, is Caleb single? What is he looking for in a girl? What is his ideal date? Well, I'm kind of interested in a girl right now, so kind of not single. What is he looking for in a girl? Well, I just be honest. I think it's a good question. I am a quality time love language person. Look up the 5 love languages if you haven't thus far. That is my thing. So if I can hold the conversation with you for more than an hour, I'm probably going to be pretty into you. What's his ideal date? Having a conversation for more than an hour. Okay.
Maybe about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Momo asks all the same things to Jacob as well, by the way. Wow, this is hilarious. So, okay, Jacob, are you single?
Yes, I am single.
What are you looking for in a girl?
So, I want someone that is passionate and driven, and I can see as like a peer and wanting to conquer and do epic stuff.
He's a red, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your ideal date?
Doing epic stuff.
That's hilarious. All right, Oga's Ton. Do you think you can arrange a live stream where we can discuss Attack on Titan manga stuff with Jacob only, I'm guessing? I'm so excited to see the upcoming chapter.
Yeah, the stuff that's going to be happening in the manga. Anyways, it's going to be crazy.
Okay.
So probably not, but there will, in the Discord, there will be spoiler rooms for each of the shows that
and he will frequent the ones like Attack on Titan.
Like Attack on Titan, so yeah.
And I will not, so
exactly.
You guys can chat all you want there.
Etris Wimbledon.
You have so many questions, dude. That's awesome.
Parasite the Maxim. There was one episode that genuinely made him tear up for the first time ever.
Not watched it. It's on the list. It's not low on the list. I will say that.
And things like that, saying that it made you tear up and stuff. That is a thing that will very much catch our attention more.
Us more than just saying it's awesome.
Right, exactly. Because we like shows that tug at our heartstrings.
Yes, Marina Skarsgård. Ooh, I like it. It's kind of Vikings. For the Q&A, favorite and least favorite Got House characters. Well, right now the way they handle
Stark is the top house.
The Starks are great, but I would actually say for me, I'm a fan of the Mormonts because
Mormont. Yes. All right, yes.
But the least favorite house is definitely Dorne. They were not handled well in Game of Thrones. The whole Dornish master plan and all that did not happen. Wow. Anyways,
least favorite character.
Baelish. No, come on, Jacob.
Okay,
He's actually
all
kind
right.
of interesting.
Yes.
I would actually say the Vale Queen who got pushed through the.
Sure, yeah.
The
one
who conspired to kill Jon Arryn.
Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey. Well, maybe if they're thinking of someone current, but I don't think that was input in here. But favorite character, we already kind of went over that.
Yep.
Would we ever consider superpower?
Before that, would we ever consider watching Vikings?
So we have watched Vikings.
Yes.
Yeah. Vikings is great. Love it. Favorite and least favorite Attack on Titan character and why? Oh, so do you want to just go through your Mikasa love?
So, okay. When I first watched Attack on Titan, this was at a time in my life when I was trying to figure out that whole female character thing, because a lot of times it's just done badly. Just straight up badly. Or they just
put in just one of them.
Or they just put in one of them, or they will have a character be in there specifically to try and be their attempt at being a good female character, which I think is a travesty. So when I was trying to break it apart, and then I saw Mikasa's character, I saw a lot of the sort of the ways where people oftentimes go wrong with female characters and make them not very interesting, but they actually made it work really well with the fact that she's a badass fighter. She has a horrible backstory, but there are those moments of really deep feeling and stuff that make her and they don't dismiss the backstory as being oh, that's just how she's badass. No, it changed her personality forever. So I really like that. And then as for least favorite character, Pastor Nick.
Yeah, and no explanation needed. For me, least favorite character, I kind of like to put in characters that, I actually don't like their character. Like when they're on screen, it just kind of bugs me. And it's the guy that shoots the cannons. That's all he does. And he yells at Armin. He's like, yeah. Don't prove you're right. I'm going to shoot the cannons at you. Why was his character there? It's like, I am the incompetent, stupid person in the military who's scared to show that people get scared. I'm like, okay, cool. Awesome. My favorite character is probably Hanji or Armin.
They're both great.
I really love both those characters. Why? They're geniuses. I love them. All right, Sir Game-A-Lot asks, so with 2 superhero shows on the lineup for the foreseeable future, I wanted to ask, what superpower or quirk do you think you would be given? Not your choice, but one you're given by fate. One that reflects something about you, like how Bakugo is explosive.
Okay, so you already said that you think yours would be seeing the future somehow?
Yeah, so if I was in Avatar, I would be an airbender. Oh, I could be a waterbender, but I would probably be an airbender.
I would either be a firebender or an earthbender.
If I was, someone with a superpower, it would be something along the lines of a foresight quirk of sorts that's limited basically by, how correct I am. Because I would say, to an extent, the visions would be impressionistic and not as detailed.
Okay.
It's kind of like painting the future with the guy from Heroes.
So for mine, it almost seems like something that it would be something that I would want, but I also think that it's something that would be pretty
I can
close
concur if it's something that fits for you, so go for it.
Okay, so something where it's basically like some sort of invincible armor that I would have, like either turning into steel or something like that. Like that's, I don't know, like given my personality, I would say that's...
Yeah, we could go with remember the volcano thing? You'd have this boiling boil of energy in here that would basically...
Fuel you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's pretty good. Do you guys ever watch No Game No Life? No. If so, could you watch it interact with the new Semblance on your channel? It'll go on the list.
Yeah.
Sure. That was from Ziga Pusnik 12.
I'm called Cool. Which of you started watching anime and why did you start watching it?
So, I think he's meaning, or he or she is meaning, which was first in watching anime. Also.
Right. Yes.
So I think it was pretty much almost exactly the same, but it was probably you.
Well, I started watching anime first, but the thing is, I started watching Naruto for a friend's recommendation, but that was after you first watched Airbender.
But Airbender isn't anime according to a lot of people. But the first anime I ever watched was Bleach.
Right. And he got me into that not too long after he started watching it. So yeah. And that was not long after I started watching Naruto. Yeah. So it was about the same time. To an extent, why we started watching those was because people that we trusted and were friends of ours said we should watch it. And the big reason why I still watch anime and really love it is because it's something that doesn't require actual physical, tangible sets and things like that. You can have a lot more creativity with the kinds of stories you tell. There's still a bunch of tropes and a bunch of ruts that anime usually follow, but I was really sick of watching the same cop dramas and mystery shows all over again, and melodrama, whatever, that usually would happen in Western television. So
it's pretty crazy. All right, so Perverted Young Man asks if we can watch Shinsekai no Yori. We'll put it on the list.
Yes.
Hunt SD, very quick question. How do you guys get your Attack on Titan reactions to not be blocked worldwide? I would love to know.
We edit them down.
We edit them down a lot, and we don't put ads on them. Yep. I'm not going to throw shade at people that do put ads on reactions and stuff, but, come on, guys.
There's other ways to, be supported.
Yeah. S. McKee this is, I think, the final question from this person, and you're amazing for just being persistent with these questions. It's hilarious. Another question: does Caleb work out to have a six-pack?
I'll take my answer in the form of a shirtless Caleb.
Thanks in advance. I
think we need to start a Caleb fan club on the Discord.
No, I don't need that. I will say that you will probably be disappointed to some extent, but I do work out and do care about my health a lot.
Right,
so,
and he also plays a lot of Frisbee, so he runs a lot, meaning cardio, so...
Yeah, I'm fit.
He's lean.
I take care of myself, but yeah. The Cartoon Kitty. Hey! Love you! You're awesome. Dude, sounds like you got things planned out and ready. Super excited for you. Who would you say is the business-oriented brain between the two of you? Well...
That's...
It's both of us.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're different aspects of that.
Yes, very much so.
I would say I'm the person who is keeping things a little bit practical, and Jacob has a lot of the vision. So one of the things you need when you have a business-oriented brain is you have to think about, a lot of things. But I think it's good to have someone that's grounded, and it's good to have someone that's constantly pushing the boundaries of things.
Yes.
So we're both pretty good at that. Or are you both pretty good at that? Yeah, we're both pretty good at that.
Ryan H., think you guys should do another tier between 5 and 25?
Yeah, we have thought about it.
Yeah.
We're leaving it open for now because we don't really have anything in particular that we feel like needs to be there now. But great question.
Yeah.
Ashlyn Hodson.
Favorite show we have reacted to.
Oh.
So.
Well, I know that answer.
Well.
It's really easy.
But. Okay, what is it?
My Hero Academia.
So, more than Attack on Titan and Ruby?
Well, okay. So, here's the thing. I actually really like Psycho-Pass, too.
Okay.
But the point is that My Hero Academia has... My Hero Academia has just good fun to it, and it reminds me of Avatar in that respect.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't want to be overly critical of Attack on Titan Season 2 and Ruby Volume 4 in that regard, because those would be really high up there as well. But if I just had to pick one, then I just picked one.
Sure.
It's not that it's not close.
But that is a good point. We've only reacted to the second season of Attack on Titan and the fourth volume of Ruby.
Yeah, because I appreciate the third volume of Ruby more than the fourth volume of Ruby. I appreciate the second volume of Ruby more than the fourth volume of Ruby.
Yeah, from that perspective, I'd probably have to agree with My Hero Academia. I just don't think it's necessarily super clear cut.
Yes, that's true.
Marcus Guillermo, what are your short-term objectives in life? An extra question. Well, or short-term objectives in life.
Whoa, that's a very
good question.
I'll just go over a few. I want to get better at communication and connection. I want to get better at Ultimate Frisbee. I want to expand this YouTube channel and help us find ways to incorporate our creativity with storytelling in other ways, and we'll get into that, in the future. I want to continue to grow in the area of health. I want to travel someday. I've never been outside the U.S.
Other than Canada, but that doesn't
count.
Yeah.
Also, and kind of a little short-term thing, I want to go to RTX next year.
Sure.
I want to go to RTX next year.
Yeah,
it's bugged me that I haven't been able to go all this time. What about you, Jacob?
So, short-term objectives: finish the book.
Finish the book.
Get it out there.
The book.
Yeah, that's the main one. Expand the channel and stuff. I want to be able to take this into something more than just reactions. I feel like the way that we've been doing that so far is with the discussion after the shows, but I feel like we can really take it to a whole lot more.
We will.
Yeah, and we will. But the question is what and when. I really want to go to a convention. RTX would be, of course, fantastic.
You want to go to SDCC, right? One of the big ones.
Sure, or just SakuraCon or whatever.
Okay, sure.
But I would also love to be able to cosplay as Kamina when I go to one of these
that would be
conventions.
Great. Hey, that would be a shirtless Jacob in that case. All right, Jacob, where will you be releasing your books from the same person? Could you show us a little bit of it?
So that is an excellent point. I was actually going to announce on the next Monday announcement video that if any of you guys are wanting to be beta readers, let me know, because I do need those.
But it'd be better also if you were doing this through the Discord as well, because he's going to have a part in there specifically for his book.
Yes. And then... where will I be releasing it? I'm going to be self-publishing it, so it's going to be done a lot online. I mean, I'm going to be trying to do it, in physical locations and stuff. But that, I won't be able to go on tour all over the U.S. or anything.
Right, exactly.
Right out the gate.
Okay. Next question, Fozzie Alamari. What?
And could you show us a little bit of it? One thing that's really cool. I actually just got the cover art for the book. Is legit as all crap. So
you can show that on the Discord then.
Yeah, I'll be able to show that on the Discord.
Pretty cool. Fozzie Alamari, this is kind of a random question, but since that's a Mon on your shirt, which season of Korra is your favorite, and what's your favorite moment from the show? Oh, Well, do we have the same favorite season of Korra? I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
3's. Yeah.
It's interesting because the moments are stronger in 1 a lot of the times.
But overall, season 3
is so good.
It really is.
But I don't know. Like, what's your favorite moment from the show, Jacob? There's a lot of them.
There are a lot.
Legend of Korra, despite it not being as good as Avatar: The Last Airbender in some ways,
it had a lot of.
It has a lot of amazing moments.
So the one that just like is blaring in my mind right now is when Amon first goes up against Tarlok, and Tarlok tries to bloodbend him, and it doesn't work. And Amon's in his awesome Steve Bloom
spoiler
voice
alert for Legend of Korra.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. and then his awesome Steve Bloom voice, he's just like, I am the solution. Like.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do mine in a way that's not spoilery, but I want to say the ending to book 3.
That was
the specifically what leads up to the final shot.
Yes.
In book 3.
Yeah.
I wish I had my reactions for that online. Because I was a mess. I was a mess at that, and yes, I'm sadistic for wanting to put my messed up self online because of that, but whatever.
Yeah, that was just...
Okay.
Alex Desta, Caleb, do you wear glasses?
You know what's funny is I don't wear glasses. I come from a family that has really good eyesight, but people have told me that I should wear glasses for the looks of it, and I'm like, I'm not hipster like that. So I think there was a Halloween costume that I did where I dressed up because I was lazy and I didn't have a costume.
And you dressed up as a hipster, right?
I dressed up as a hipster, but I grabbed the Thor hammer, so I was basically like Thor in the real world trying to be a hipster. It was kind of funny, but yeah.
Hunt SD, how did you guys decide to start your channel?
This was kind of a joke. It was kind of a thing of like, hey, let's do this. This would be fun.
Yeah.
And Ruby Volume 4 is coming out, so yeah.
Right. And other people had told us previously that like, hey, you guys, should do something where it involves you guys
talking about TV shows and stuff that we love,
playing off of each other and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's basically how it was decided. Yeah. Which of the series that reacted so far is your favorite? Well, we already said that. My Hero Academia.
Yep. You guys muster the willpower to only watch one episode a week for shows like My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, etc. Oh, wow.
What does he mean by Rock Lee level willpower?
So you haven't seen Naruto, but there's basically Rock Lee is he is one of the most determined, disciplined, like the power
he's the determinator of the shonen thing that's not the main character.
Yeah, he's basically the trainer of this other kid that looks exactly like him.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how do we muster the willpower? Well, I'll tell you, when we love something this much, it's actually kind of easy.
Yes, that's true.
It doesn't require a lot of willpower. I will say that we're not saying that people that can't do that have no willpower, but there is a bit of a binge culture that exists in kind of the anime world and stuff like that. So it's like, we have Netflix and we can just watch 25 episodes in 3 days. Guys, ain't nobody got time for that.
Well,
like,
I've done it sometimes.
I know, you watched Code Geass in like 3 days or something. 2 days, yeah.
And Your Lie in April was in 1, but yeah. But the thing is, when the benefit from being able to watch it over a long period of time is so much better than the sort of depression you sink into when you realize this is over. I've already seen it now. What do I do?
Yeah, so we basically kind of resolved to each other to allow the 1 episode a week formula to strengthen our discussions and allow us to pick apart these 20 minute episodes more effectively. And we're really seeing that it's a much better formula for us in particular by doing it in that way.
Yeah.
All right, so guys,
that is the last question.
That was all the questions. Guys, thank you so much for all your questions. Those were fantastic.
They really were.
If your question did not get answered, that is because you probably need to check out our MyAnimeList.
Right.
If you don't see your show on our MyAnimeList,
then that's probably just because we've been asked a lot and it's
already on the list.
Yeah.
Probably. But if you really feel like we need to make sure that we, notice it because A, maybe it's not a popular show, or B, it's a show that you don't think, people would generally kind of look at or notice, or maybe it's like that one guy said, like Madness Combat or something like that, and it's not an anime in particular. It's kind of a little animated, little goofy web series or something like that. Let us know in all the comments of these Monday announcement videos, and then we'll queue up another set of questions for the August monthly Q&A video.
Exactly.
But thank you guys for sticking around.
Yeah,
this has
you
been
guys are
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. A lot of these questions made me laugh. A lot of them got me to really think, and I really appreciate that. We don't really have this kind of interaction that much with people who we don't know regarding stuff that we're really passionate about, and we're looking forward to having a lot more of that once we get our Discord up.
Yes,
and we get to talk to you guys a lot more one-on-one. It'll be great. All right, guys, till next time, Semblance to Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.